All the students of DAV secondary school are going to present a talk show about gurus. Guru is everything for all of us. Nothing is possible without him. Life needs a power to push us up, and the guru is superpower. Guru is the light in the dark, an inspiration, a guiding star, a stimulator, and a able advisor. Let us now meet a few prominent gurus of Indian origin. जीवन्तमृतवन्मन्ये देहिनं धर्मवर्जितं मृतो धर्मेण संयुक्तो दीर्घजीवी न संशयः. A person who does not do any good karma is as good as that even while alive. A person who followed dharma and that good to people attain fame and prosperity and thereby live for long time even after death. Chanakya, also known as Kausalya or Vishnugupta, was an ancient Indian mathematician and also influential thinker in Indian history. He is best known for his teaching politics, economics and diplomacy. Binational goals of Chanakya are ruler should be like a gardener, nurturing and protecting his people. A person should strive to be better than they were yesterday. Chanakya ruled Arthashastra, science of wealth, and Nirishastra, science of values. He began his career as a teacher and later he became the custodian of Emperor Chandragupta. He helped Chandragupta in overthrowing power of Nanda dynasty at Pataliputra. Chanakya became the Prime Minister of Chandragupta when he became the Emperor of Maurya Empire. Chanakya also appointed female bodyguards
present over here today. So the outset, I wish to congratulate the young tots, the tiny tots, for an excellent program, and a good intellectual program. So big round of applause to the Acharyas first, because they're very true in terms of the children performing. And obviously the tiny tots, great congratulations to them, and then the parents, right? And I see many of you here also in large numbers. We encourage your children. There are also some grandparents. How many grandparents here? Nice to see. Thank you so much for joining us. Special for grandparents who have specifically come here today, right? To encourage their grandchildren. Moving on, I wish to take a cue from a shloka that the children recited. Does anyone remember which shloka, what shloka children recited? In the talk show? Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maitunam Cha Samanyam Etat Pashubher Naranam Dharmo Hi Tesham Adhiko Vishesho Dharme Nahina Pashubhi Samana. So, this is what the children spoke about, isn't it? So let's understand, let's learn from that and see as to what does this shloka exactly state. It says, can you just say it together once? Can you all say it together once? Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithunam Cha, Samanyam, Etat, Pashubher Narana. That's the first line. Second line, Dharma, Hi, Tesham, Adhika, Vishesho, Dharme Nahina, Pashubhi Samana. This is a simple two-line shloka. So this shloka, now if you reflect on it, the first word is ahar. What does ahar mean? Food, right? Simple. Nidra means what?
Sleep.
Bhaya means what? Fear. Right? So ahar, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. Maithuna means having children. Okay? Cha means and. So these four things. What is four things? Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunam cha. Cha means and. Samanyam etat. All this is similar. All this is similar. Amongst whom? Pashubhi and Narana. Pashu means what? Animals. Nara means human beings. So these four aspects, what are these four aspects? Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithuna. These four aspects are similar. Across whom? Across human beings and animals. This is the message what is being given by the children. Okay. What does second line state? You saw the first line. Simple, isn't it? Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithunam Cha Samanyam Etat Pashubher Narana. The second line says, Dharmo Hi Tesham Adhiko Vishesho. Dharma means what? Dharma means religion. Dharma means religion. Broadly, is that how we understand? So we'll come to it, right? So it's in dharma. We use the word dharma. Dharma, I call it a Sanskrit non-translatable word. There are certain words in Sanskrit that cannot be exactly translated into English. Okay? So we use the word dharma only. It says the word dharma. Dharma hi tesham adhiko vishesho. Right? Adhika means what? More. Vishesha means what? Special. Right? Dharma alone is special. Right? In whom? In human beings. In the first line, we compare the similarities. The similarities is ahar, nidra, bhaya and maithunam. In the second line, we see what is the difference. The difference it says is dharma hi tesham adhiko vishesho. Dharmena hina, without dharma, pashubhi samana. That means we are like an animal. So the only differentiating aspect between human beings and animals is what? Dharma. That's the differentiating factor, that's the special factor that we human beings have, which the animals don't really have. You have a cow. You have a cow, okay, that goes and starts grazing in someone else's field. That goes and starts grazing in the next field. Will you say the cow is doing some adharma? The cow does not really? No. If you do it, if you go and pluck something from someone else's field, that is adharma. Isn't it? So dharmo itesham adhiko vishesho dharme nahina pashubhi samana. Second line it says that dharma is the differentiating factor, right, between animals and human beings. Make sense? This particular shloka the children gave us. Now we need to understand that, okay, so dharma is a differentiating factor. What does dharma really mean? Right? It's a little confusing. Because as such, dharma would imply a religion. Right? Dharma means, so once let's take a step back, how many religions, and so today there are major religions in the world. Major religions of the world. Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, Buddhism, right, are the major religions of the world. Right? How old are these religions? These religions, Christianity is how many years old? 2024. Isn't it? Before Christ and it's after the Lord. Right? So Christianity is how many years old? 2000, roughly 2000 years old. Right? Before that, how long have human beings been there on this planet? Human beings on this particular planet, how long have we been there? Our ancestors. How long? How many years? Indus Valley civilization is how old? Have you heard of Indus Valley civilization? All of you? Indus Valley civilization is at least 8,000 years old. How much? 8,000, at least. Right? It has been clearly excavated. Scientists have proved, right, with dating technologies, it is at least 8,000 years old. Where is the Indus Valley civilization? Which part of the world? It's around the western part. You have Pakistan, Rajasthan, that side. Right? Near the Indus Valley civilization. So, human beings have been there for at least 8,000 years and more. Christianity is how many years old? 2000. What about Islam? Prophet Muhammad. How long back? 1,500 years old. Only 1,500 years old. Right? What about your Jainism? Lord Mahavira, the last Tirthankara of the Jains. He lived around 500 BC. Now we are in 2024 AD. He was in 5000 BC. That means how many years back? 2000 plus 500. Right? About 2500 years back. Buddhism, Lord Buddha, once again lived around the same time as Lord Mahavira, about 2500 years old. Right? How old is the word Hindu? The word Hindu or Hinduism, how old is the word Hindu? The word Hindu, once again, is not very old. It's only about 800 to 1000 years old. How much? 800 to 1000 years old. The word Hindu, when did it come about? When the Mughals invaded the Indian subcontinent. There's a river Sindhu that flows even today. There's a river Sindhu that flows starts in the Himalayas, comes all the way and then goes into Pakistan. It's called the river Sindhu. Today we refer to it as river Indus. When you teach in social science, the river you refer as river Indus. But the original name was river Sindhu. Right? So when the Mughals invaded the Indian subcontinent, the people living on the eastern side of the river Sindhu were referred to as the Hindus. Even the word India, how does the word India come? Sindhu become Indus, India. That's how the word India originates from the river Sindhu. Right? So when we're trying to answer questions as to what is dharma, because dharma is the only differentiating factor between human beings and animals. Then he said, okay, so does dharma mean religion? That's how most of us understand it. Then he said, okay, how many religions in the world? We said we named the major religions in the world, right? And we saw how old are they? And we saw they are all very, very young. They are very, very young. Why? Because human beings have been there for at least 8,000 years. Now Buddhism, Jainism 2,500, Christianity 2,000, Islam 1,500, Hinduism 1,000. What about Sikhism? Sikhism is hardly 500 years back. Right? Guru Nanak, who was the last of Sikh gurus, was about 500 years back. Right? So, before all of these religions were born, right, what was followed prior to that? Right? That's an important question. And my audience, the answer to that is that before that there was Dharma. There was Vedic Dharma. Today, across the world, any quiz question across the world, which is the oldest books in the library of humans? What is the answer? Vedas. Anywhere, any quiz competition across the world, the oldest books in the library of humans, when people ask this question, the clear answer is the Vedas. So what existed prior to all these religions that were born in this world was nothing but the Vedic Dharma, or what they also call as the Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means what? One that has always existed. It was there in the past, it is there today, and it is there in the future. When you look at the word Dharma, Dharma basically refers to your everyday duties. Your everyday duties. It refers to the right path. Today, speaking the truth is Dharma. Helping someone is Dharma. Right? All this, so this Dharma, saying the truth, was it applicable 1,000 years back to 10,000 years back? The answer is yes. Will it be applicable today? Is it applicable today? Yes. Will it be applicable 10,000 years from now? The answer is yes. And that is why it is referred to as the Sanatana Dharma. We make this politicized and hence we say the word Sanatana, etc. Different people give different statements. Let's not give that. But the origin of the word means that it is eternal. And this Dharma, as we discussed, right, this has been there since ages, and the definition of this Dharma has been more aptly described in the Vedas. Right? I'll give you a small story. So, you must be thinking as to why Vedas. So there was in the 1800s, who invented the light bulb? Who invented the light bulb? Edison, right? So Edison, apart from the light bulb, he also invented one other instrument, which is the gramophone. What does the gramophone do? Gramophone records voice. Records voice. Today you can record voice easily in a mobile phone, right? But in 1800s, when the light bulb was invented, that time there was no such recording machines, and gramophone was the first machine that was invented that could record voice. Thomas Edison was very excited. So Thomas Edison was wondering as to whose voice should he first record on this gramophone. After a lot of thinking, Thomas Edison decided to record the voice of a great German scholar whose name was Max Muller. What was his name? Max Muller. So Thomas Edison, that time there were no emails, there were no WhatsApp messages, but Thomas Edison decided to write a letter to Max Muller inviting him to come and inaugurate this gramophone. Max Muller agreed. And at that point of time, a conference was to happen in which various scholars from across Europe were to assemble. So Thomas Edison fixed their date to inaugurate the gramophone, and he requested the German scholar Max Muller to join that particular conference. Max Muller came. The conference started. The first event was inauguration of gramophone. The instrument was brought onto the stage, and Max Muller, he spoke into the gramophone. The way he gave a small speech, the way I'm just talking to you, right? He spoke into the gramophone. The gramophone was taken backstage. It took about a couple of hours for the tape. You know, remember in all group pulses and we had this audio tapes, isn't it? They're all like tapes that used to come in. You had VCR cassettes, etc. All that. You had tapes, right? So this tapes was taken backstage. The conference continued in the post-lunch session. Right? The tape was processed. The gramophone was brought back to the stage. Put on the button, and out came what? Max Muller's voice. The audience was thrilled. Max Muller was asked to give a small talk. Max Muller came onto the stage once again. And they were delighted to see this German scholar. As he spoke, he asked the audience a question. He said, "You are thrilled to listen to my voice coming out of the gramophone, but did you really understand as to what did I speak into the gramophone? What did I say?" Over there, you had scholars in different parts of Europe. You had the Germans, you had the French, you had the English, you had from Spain. They all possibly thought it is some other language, but they realized that it was none of those. And then Max Muller went on to say that when I was thinking as to what should I speak into the gramophone, what should be that first knowledge that should be recorded, my conscience told me that the only thing that I should speak into the gramophone should be the Vedic knowledge, and therefore I recited the first mantra from the Rig Veda, Om Agni Nile Prohitam Yajyasadeva Pritrijam Hotaram Ratna Dhatu. So my dear audience, that's the broad significance of the Vedic body of knowledge. And this dharma that we spoke about, this emanates from this Vedic body of knowledge. Remember, Vedas is not only about praying to God. Vedas is not only about praying to God. Today, have you heard about Vedic mathematics? Yes or no? Right? Have you heard about Ayurveda? Have you heard as to how there are different aspects about the architecture, etc. in the Vedas? How are various temples being constructed many thousands of years back with such beautiful architecture? Right? All this body of knowledge has actually evolved from the Vedas. And remember one thing, human beings, if you were to take a child, today you have a tiny tot, say studying in LKG or UKG, right? Who are here today. If you were to not send them to a school, you were to just put them in a nice ventilated room and just keep giving them food and water, do you think that they will really be able to gain education? No. Right? None of us can. If you just take a human child and put in a room, give nice ventilation, give good food, good water, but no human interaction, no teachers, no books, the child cannot gain any knowledge. There has to be a teacher of teacher of teacher. You and I were also taught by a teacher. Or we read a book, the book is again written by an author, isn't it? That's again a teacher. Right? Who is the teacher's teacher? Her teacher or his teacher. Right? Because human beings cannot learn by themselves. So there has to be a link. A teacher of teacher of teacher of teacher. Who is it? What is it? What is that body of knowledge? It is the Vedas. Today you go to a simple showroom and you buy a washing machine for yourself. Along with the washing machine, what do you get? You get a manual. Isn't it? You get a manual. What is there in the manual? How to operate this machine. What this machine goes bad. Some repair work. How much of power is required. Isn't it? It is all there in that manual. For a simple thing like a washing machine, you need a manual. When this entire world was created, right, such a complex world, for the human beings, shouldn't there have been some kind of a manual? Some kind of a manual. A manual that talks not only about worship to God, but talks about diverse aspects. So Ayurveda talks about as to how to remain healthy. Extremely important, isn't it? Allopathy, my dear audience, is how many years old? Allopathy is how many years old? Hardly about 200 years old. That's all. There were no Apollos and Kaveris and Sims hospitals in the world. Right? No allopathy before 200 years prior to today. How did we live? How did we still stay healthy? Right? It was from the Vedic body of knowledge. Even today, right? We talk about traditional medicine, isn't it? If you think, look at your mothers, your grandmothers, and great grandmothers, they would have kashayams, they would have different medicines at home. Yes or no? Do you and I know enough about it? No. We don't know enough about it. Right? Because no one taught us. Because no one taught us. How did they learn? How did they get to know? How did your grandmother get to know? How did great grandmother get to know? Did she just dream about it? The answer is no. You and I don't know. They knew. They knew because someone told them. Right? They also did not get any dream. The way you and I did not get a dream, they also did not get any dream. Someone taught them. Right? Who taught them? If you go back once again, it will go back to the Vedic body of knowledge. And that's why the dharma, as defined in the Vedas, is something that differentiates, as I mentioned, between us and the animals. And that is what we need to follow in our daily lives. And that's how we differentiate ourselves from the animals. So with those words, I'll stop over here. Once again, congratulations to all the children and a big and to all the Acharyas as well. Thank you.